Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. I'm going to be doing a mission called the Mordu's Headhunters. So this is basically a mission where I need to kill these Mordus who are kind of like assassins, so to say. And the reason I'm actually doing this mission in particular now is because there are a lot of NPCs in the mission that need to be killed. And the reason I want to do that is because I'm actually trying a slightly different fit for my Barghest right here. So I usually like to go with the cruise missile launcher fit of the Barghest, the one that has a really long range. Well, I decided to go with the torpedo fit, because those torpedoes, they are slightly better now than they used to be back in the day, and you can get some decent application with these. There's like these updates that have changed the torpedoes, so it makes sure that they apply better than before. So they actually apply pretty close to what cruise missiles would actually apply. And I've got these two then missile guidance computers, and I can kind of switch around. If I really want a lot of application, I can put this application script here, or if I want a little bit extra range, I can put the missile range script. The torpedoes actually have a decent range on the Barghest just because of how the way it works. It's got like a bonus to the velocity of missiles. So the missiles are going to be going a lot faster than your conventional missiles, and because they're going faster, they're also going to be traveling faster, so to say. So it's a pretty decent way, it seems like, at least in the tests I've done so far. It seems to be definitely better in many ways than the cruise missile fit. Only in some missions in particular I noticed that it's actually a bit annoying that you don't have that range, but for the most part it's actually really good. Now I'm just going to go to Dozer right here because it's telling me where I should go here. Something I've noticed is that the cruise missile fit, so if we go into the fit I was using before, the Barghest, this one here, this is the cruise missile launcher fit, and if we go and put our missiles in, so we'll put the Fury missiles, or if we even want to put the Caldari Navy ones, look at that range, that 300 kilometer range. Are we really ever going to use that far range? I mean, it's good to have that range, obviously, especially when you're doing missions where stuff can be quite far away, but are we really going to fully utilize it? No, we're never going to utilize more than 114 kilometers unless I equip a sensor booster. The amount of wasted range is too much in my opinion. And if we go here in the torpedoes, obviously we've not got crazy range here with the Tech 2 ones, 42 kilometers. I could boost it up if I put the dual range scripts here. Actually, if I activate it, you'll see you actually very soon. Let's just go to warp to this location right here, warp to location. And if we go to actually, if we simulate it right here, you can see actually got a bit further range, so 51 kilometers. So 51 kilometers with the Tech 2 close range ammo is pretty decent. I mean, you can reach a lot of stuff with that range. And if I really wanted range, then I could just go and use the Javelin Torpedoes. Javelin Torpedoes, they also have better application to small stuff. You've got 92 kilometer range, and that's basically almost as far as my targeting goes. So I feel like this is a lot better because I'm kind of utilizing fully the range I can use. It feels like a lot is going to waste when it comes to the cruise missiles because of just how far it is away. The application is not particularly different from the cruises, it's about the same, I feel like. And especially when it comes to these missions, it'll be very good. I can see cruise missiles being really good if you want to do a lot of sniper stuff. Like if you want to snipe people from really far away, you put a bunch of sensor boosters, you just go and snipe them. Let's see now. Okay, the lowest resistance is EM then in these guys, so we're gonna just activate everything right here, and then we're gonna shoot with the EM Rage Torpedoes. I'll be doing some very good DPS, and the reason I'm going for the battleships first is, first of all, these guys are close, but second of all, also that I just want to get as much DPS off the field as possible. I've not got the most tankiest ship. Like, it's got some decent tank with the X-Large shield booster, but it's not like a amazing tank, so I don't want to like face tank stuff. It's not like Marauder style where I can just face tank anything you see. Unfortunately, I don't live in such luxury. So now that I've noticed that everything is pretty close, so I'm going to use the dual application scripts just to get a better application, because there's no real reason to actually have to reach out very far. But I will actually slowly approach these enemies over here because I will soon need to have some decent range. And actually, after I've killed these guys, I'm going to switch over to the javelins because I will have some good application against these guys. Plus, I'll be able to reach out to these guys over here. Formations is actually pretty decent. like especially when incorporating the burners. I definitely should show you guys more burner missions, but I think that the L formations are just really profitable when you incorporate the burners, because of how the burners work. Is the burners you get very good oh, actually I'll just quickly switch to Mjolnir Javelin. Javelin, less DPS, more range, better application. You can think of it like that. So it's a very good alternative for using it against these like smaller stuff like cruisers right here. But as I was saying, the L formations are really profitable when you incorporate the burners. There's multiple reasons to this. First off, just in general that the burners are very, you know, good. But also, it has a lot to do with that because of you doing the burners, you're able to get better standings, like with the corporation agent or the agent you're doing it for. I'm not talking about faction standing, because I've got good faction standing, so I can decline a lot of missions that I think are not so profitable. But the only issue is that if you keep declining missions, you'll eventually get bad standings with the agent or the corporation, and if that happens, even if you got good faction standings, it doesn't matter, because you'll still be not able to be able to do more missions if it goes to below -2 standing. And if you're able to do burner missions, then there are less missions in total that you decline, and it essentially means that you're in total able to do more missions that are good, or not maybe do more missions, but able to decline bad missions more frequently. Another thing I actually noticed is that the burner missions, actually, they give exceptionally good amounts of the corporation standings, or just standings in general. They give pretty good standings. I noticed they go up like 0.5, 0.6 standings just for one of the missions. It goes up a lot more than the standard L formations, I noticed. And that's something that is really good, because it'll be harder for me to go into that negative standing balance when it comes to the agent or the corporation. It's very useful, just it feels very good, because I remember before I did burner missions, I had to think a lot more about the standing, like, oh, am I going below the -2 standing on the agent? And if you want to know a bit more what I'm talking about, like if I go on this agent right here that I'm doing missions for, this guy right here, let's just shoot all these guys. Actually, I'm going to start shooting these frigates, because I think when they're approaching me I have slightly better application. Okay, let's just unlock these real quick. There we go, unlock this one. And if it comes to this guy right here, so we see that he's got effective standing 8.1. That means that it's because my faction standing is very good. So the effective standing is that, like, it takes the highest standing that I've got. But if we go and click info, I see that I've got a standing towards him is 5.71. And I mean, it's good, but this can go down if I decline too many missions. And I don't want that to happen, obviously, because if that does happen, then I won't be able to do a lot of missions, or I won't be able to do any missions. And especially when it comes to -2, I won't be able to do any missions at all. Then I'm going to have big problems right there. And I just want to see what range I have. 71. I can't shoot this thing right here, so it's just wasting ammo. But now my standings is pretty good, so you can see here 5.79, so I can just keep declining missions, just take the good ones. The Mordu's mission right here is not an extremely profitable mission, I noticed, but it's good because of how it's a very good demonstration purpose for this torpedoes. You can see here it's going pretty decently. Obviously I'm shooting frigates right now, so it's not going to be the fastest thing, but it's still decent for torpedoes. Like, torpedoes to be able to apply to frigates before was almost completely unheard of. Now look, I'm actually sniping, I'm actually like one-shotting these guys at long range. It's really cool right here, actually. I've noticed also when the frigates, they orbit, it's like a little mosquito frigate, little scrub right here, just like orbiting like a little absolute scrub. Thinks he's so cool kiting. That's what Gamma pilots are known for, little kitey scrubs. They are kiting, and I noticed that when they orbit like little scrubs, then they tend to negate the damage from my missiles a lot more. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it has something to do with just, I think, the velocity direction change that makes it worse at applying or something. I'm not exactly sure how it works, not 100% sure how it works, but I've noticed that when they're sitting here orbiting, then I have a bit of a harder time applying. It's not as good as when they're pretty far away like this, and it could have to do with that if they're far away, they haven't aggressed me yet. But I've also noticed that sometimes if they're just straight on approaching me, then it also actually I'd also do a bit more damage. I'm not exactly sure why. If you guys do know, let me know in the description below. Okay, let's take out these cruisers right here, and then we'll switch over to the Rage and knock out the battleships right there. Okay, let's go there. Kill these guys. Got these Hornets here. We can aid a little bit in the DPS race right here to just kill these guys as quick as possible. How far are we away? Okay, 8 kilometers. Let me just get a bit closer to this acceleration gate, just to be in range so that I can warp to the next pocket when I'm done. Mordu's Lion. They've got pretty cool names, these guys, like Mordus Sequester, Mordu Lion. Okay, they've got the very fierce names they've got, these Mordu guys. They have got a region of nullsec actually that they exist in. You can actually do missions for the Mordus guys actually, but obviously doing missions in nullsec is a different beast from doing stuff in highsec. You have to obviously worry about other players right there. It's a completely different thing right there than this here, and we're just chilling here. The only thing we have to worry about are gankers. You can always just keep a little bit of an eye on local right here, just to see that there's no one like flashing orange or something that is gonna potentially be out there and kill us. So we're gonna just start shooting the torpedoes. Blast away with the torpedoes. I used to use torpedoes. This is the second time I'm actually ever using torpedoes properly. The first time I used torpedoes was actually when I used to use a rattlesnake in nullsec. The rattlesnake is a very good PvE ship, but for specifically missions, the Barghest tends to be quite a bit better. It has a lot to do with how fast the Barghest is, because when it comes to missions, you often have to travel very large distances, and this will add up a lot when it comes to the time. Like in missions, if you are really slow, it will really slow down significantly the speed you do the missions in. The rattlesnake is an exceptionally slow ship, particularly slow, and you have big problems when it comes to doing stuff fast in the missions. The benefit of the Barghest also is that it's got a very long range on its missiles, so it can often negate a lot of its damage by just kiting. It doesn't have to focus too much on the tank. You can see here, I was able to, this is not a perfect example, but I was kind of keeping my distance from a lot of the stuff here. Like, you know, when I killed that initial wave that was near the gate, I killed them, and then there was a bunch of people who were quite far away from me. And then those guys I basically was able to kill at long range with the javelin. Now I see quite a few people close range right here, and we're going to take out the battleships that we can. Let's sort by distance. Actually, I know I don't usually do this, but I'm just going to sort by distance here, just so I can just take out everything significant that is in range. And then we can actually maybe I think that these guys are just going to start approaching us soon. So we can actually just pull distance right here, and then when they approach us, we're not going to use our MWD. So then when they approach us, then we'll be able to shoot them when they come in range. Now, is this guy approaching? I think he's kind of approaching. He's sort of orbiting, I think, maybe. Okay. This missile guidance computer really helps a lot with the range a bit. You see I got the over 50 kilometer range now because of that. It's really nice. I'm getting some big hits on this Barghest, enemy Barghest right here. It's very nice seeing those sudden blaps, and I have a feeling that maybe some of my missiles are not hitting, because I would otherwise see a double blap. Yeah, I think it was not hitting because that guy is at pretty far range, and if it has something to do with the missiles, if you're like within like 1 kilometer, I think, like a whole number away from your missile range, then like 50% of the actual missiles will hit. So that's why I think not all of them were hitting right there when I was shooting before. Switch to the javelin right here and just like almost one-shot these guys. This is so cool. Just one-shotting these guys and take out all these tiny little frigates and crews here. It should be really easy. And you can see we're hardly taking any damage. We're kind of keeping our range. Not a lot of the DPS is really focusing us. We've only got like all these frigates. They're not really doing much. Then we've got a few cruisers as well. Actually, let's shoot the cruisers actually, because the frigates are going to be pretty hard to apply compared to the cruisers. Let's shoot these guys right here, and I think that the mission is actually pretty much finished after you've taken out all these guys. And I have a feeling that there was some particular spawn that if you take them out, then actually it does finish the mission. So I think perhaps I'm wasting my time by doing this spawn right here. Like, I don't know if there's like a blitzing guide to be able to do the missions really fast. And I think that I am doing a bit wrong right here. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to kill everything that I've got aggressed on me right now, like all these red boxes. And then I think we're going to have to go for this spawn over here. I'm pretty sure it's that spawn over there actually that needs to be killed. Actually, we're gonna head towards here. I'm going to then keep using the javelins because it seems like this is actually pretty appropriate right now due to how there's just small stuff. There's just small stuff, you know, all this small crap like crap with Mordu's, guys. They're just kiting tiny ships. They're just hard to hit. At least they're not like elite frigates or elite crews. I know that there's certain types of enemy ships, like NPC ships, that are considered to be like elite ships. And the problem with elite ships is that they often, somehow, for some reason, they're just very hard to apply. Very difficult to apply, not at all easy, and take a while to kill them. They also tend to have pretty high resistances, and you'll often notice this, especially in your like null-sec ratting anomalies. You'll see that certain ships, they're considered to be elite ships. Like if you Google their name, it'll say like, or even actually, I think even here in the type tab, actually, you'll see like elite, Serpentis elite frigate or something like that. They tend to be pretty hard to kill. Serpentis elite cruiser. They tend to have pretty high resistances if you click on the show info. These guys don't have crazily good resistances, so it's alright. This guy who's aggressing really far away for some reason. I want to deploy my drones, but the problem is that these guys are all these little frigates right here are gonna instantly kill my drones. I feel like actually I could maybe lock up these guys here and take the lights on them, because the lights, they go so fast, and like even if these Mordu's guys are so filthy to shoot my drones, then I'll have enough time to recall them, and that'll be pretty decent actually. And the funny thing is that these javelins, they almost have the same range as the cruise missile launchers, but they have about the same DPS. That's really nice actually. It's really amazing how the torpedoes, you know, you can have similar range to cruise, and then you have similar DPS, or if you want to have extra DPS, then you go for the short range one, they'll absolutely annihilate them. Now I'm shooting the Barghest there with them, but with the javelins, but I couldn't be bothered to switch. I'll switch with the next round when I engage these guys over here. Let's lock these guys up. There's a few of these little Mordu scrubs over here actually that are also causing a bit of problems. And now I'm actually losing capacitor. The battleship I've got right here doesn't have the best capacitor. The rigs it's using are the Hyperspatial velocity optimizer rigs, and those rigs actually are really good because it helps you travel to your destination very fast. It makes you warp very fast. The only thing is, you know, you're not got the benefits of other rigs. You can't have any capacitor rigs. Then you can see here, this is what I'm talking about, these Hyperspatial velocity optimizers. So it makes I warp really fast, like a speedy boy. When I warp to different systems, I can go to different missions very quickly. It's very common for blitzing mission ships to actually have that. They really help, but yeah, I can't have the benefits of other rigs. I really love to have the triple capacitor control circuit rigs in battleships. Like often the Rattlesnake, I'll have that. It's just so nice to be able to fully power all these advanced modules, like an extra large shield booster or something of those likes. Let's just lock these guys up right here. Let's go for the Mjolnir Rage. We'll just take out the battleships first. Then we're just going to annihilate these guys. And I think the mission will be done when I've killed these guys. Actually, I can just ignore these guys over here. I think it's these guys I need to kill. Actually, I'll recall my drones. I worry that all the people are just going to suddenly switch to my drones, and they're going to get slapped really good. Really hard and good. And it'll be not so nice if that happens. Okay, where's the range? 51 kilometer range. Okay, so that's pretty decent. I'm going to just lock up everything here within range. Yeah, it's good that we've got everything like all sorted by range, so we can easily see who's in range. Oh, I don't want to shoot the Rage Torpedo on the little frigate. It's going to not apply anything. It's going to be pretty bad right there. Oh, it did actually apply decently. You see that? Let's just throw my drones. So we're going to do a bit of a risky maneuver right now, but I'm going to throw my drones on that Mordu Katana right there. So, to finish it off, but there's always a little risk I'm putting my drones for. Okay, we're actually going to align to Heora, because I think that's where I have to, that's where my mission hub is. And if I just go there straight away, if I have that pre-aligned, I can just warp out straight away, and it'll be really nice to be able to just go back without having to align at all. I often do that when I'm doing these missions very fast. Now, I didn't do this obviously very fast because I wasted a lot of time with that initial spawn, but I think I could have done this even faster if I just cruised to the side, locked up these guys straight away, and took them out. It would have gone a lot faster that way, but I just forgot about that. It was a long time since I've actually encountered this mission. Now I'm going to switch to the Mjolnir Javelin. Actually, I'll recall these Hornets and deploy the medium drones, because the medium drone is going to do quite a bit more damage, so it'll be very nice to use those. And I'll actually separate the missile. I'll put one in here, one in here. Just I don't want to over damage, like just get them to 1% HP and then waste the volley on them. Though, you know, it gives them more time to repair, so you have to think about that as well. Oh, that guy, I think that guy aggressed my drones. Because I saw him just turn yellow. Can now deploy the mediums again. Shoot on this Mordu katana right here. The mediums can apply pretty decently actually to the small stuff I've noticed. You see that? Just like one volley, all the shields down. Very decent right there. Yeah, so basically everything knocked up now I have to kill, and then the mission is done. And I'm not cap stable with the shield booster, but it's not really necessary. Not all necessary that I need to be cap stable, but it's just there really just to burst it. Just to tank enough before I kill all these NPCs. You never really have massive tank requirements in the L4s. Obviously you could, if you want, be a marauder, go to the middle place here, bastion up and just blast away, but you don't have to do that. And that's what this Barghest likes to do. Very specific, very precise on what it shoots, and it takes stuff out tactically. Okay, let's get some drones on that Mordu Leopard over here. I'll get a bit of... There's that one Mordu Gigamar right there that is still aggressed. We can actually just take it out. Let me get a free 800... Let me get an extra 800,000 tick on that. Actually, that'll be pretty decent right there. No, I didn't want to shoot there. No! We've got the 92 kilometer range. Oof, that's pretty good. Yeah, there we go. You see that? Well, look, mission completed. So, tip here. If you're doing this mission, Mordu's Headhunters, only go for the one near this big Galenta Station ruins over here. You don't need to kill all the initial ones. You just go to the side. You could even use an MJD if you have one, and then just attack these guys. And you can avoid most of the damage if you have an MJD. That would actually be a pretty decent tactic. Just MJD, and then you've basically taken no damage from this initial one right here. And then you just apply everything on these guys here. It could actually be a pretty good mission for my Marauder, the Paladin. But this has a lot more DPS than the Paladin, though. If I were to use an MJD, I can actually just go at distance. I'll probably be here, and I'll actually probably one-tap the frigates because of how the way... If you're pretty far away, and even if you've got large guns, but if you're pretty far away, you're just going to one-tap those frigates because the transversal is going to be so good when it comes to them. That's going to be... That would actually be a pretty good way to do it. The only thing is, when it comes to the battleships, it'll not be as fast. Then again, they're not really that many battleships, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be about the same time. I think maybe the Barghest will be a tiny bit faster. Okay, why am I not... I must have warped to the wrong distance, because I didn't... I came at 10 kilometers. It feels like I'm doing my autopilot right there. I remember the days of autopilot when I started eveonline. I used autopilot. I just thought that because back in the day, the tutorial used to actually tell you to use autopilot, so I thought that was the only way you could go around. I didn't know about manually going to a new system, so I only used autopilot, and that actually was not particularly efficient, and also it was just it's dangerous. You know, if you had something invaluable in your cargo, people could gank you on that 10-kilometer way to the gate. But that just reminded me of my old autopilot days. We can go and walk to the location right here. Got some decent LP, 8,000 LP. You can obviously get more from burners, but some decent LP mission right there. There's only a few actually that give standard L formations that give this much LP, so it's in the top range. Though it's not like a extremely fast mission. There's a ton of people actually I had to kill right there. Let's talk to Chalena Blarovon. Let's complete the mission, claim it, and spread the rewards. My fleet mate here, he's gonna get a bit of standings to be able to do the L formations. We can request a new one. And oh, no, this is a burner. I'm just looking at some missions I'll maybe do later today. Attack of the drones. Okay, so the Barghest seems to be pretty decent when it comes to torpedoes. The range is good, the DPS is good. You saw how those battleships just annihilating them, like almost two-shotting them, maybe or three or two-shotting the battleships. Really good, I must say. Torpedo Barghest, I can imagine, is going to be a future way to do blitzing of missions. Macarel is good, and also the Rapid Light as well as the Cruise Barghest were common, you know, blitzing alternatives before, but now definitely the Torpedo Barghest also is a possibility now as well. I think that'll be really interesting to see what other people use. I think Macario will still be the king, but you know, I think the Torpedo Barghest has some potential actually, and I probably will still use this. I definitely think I will, because of just the sheer amount of DPS you get from this, and I think definitely in those waves with a lot of battleships it is really worth it. So you can see here, if I just fully load all the Rage Torpedoes, 1.7k DPS, amazing DPS, and it does apply really good to even cruisers. Not as good to frigates obviously, but cruise is decent, and the cruise was anyway not applying pretty good to begin with, so I think this is pretty alright, to be honest. Hope you guys enjoyed this video right here. Mordu's Headhunters Torpedo Barghest looking really promising. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.